the years of my life, I would say the 20 years of the 22, 3 years of working as an entertainer.
Picture this. Lights dim, a thunderous crowd erupts, and out walks Tina Turner. Her heels strike like war drums. Her sequins blaze like fire under the spotlight. A living legend in motion. But behind the glitz, behind the voice that moved millions, there was another story. One laced with pain, betrayal, and the silent wars she never wanted to explain. This is the untold story of 6 names Tina Turner never wanted to hear. 6 people who left scars deeper than any stage fall. Welcome to Rock Fame Diaries. The first name, no surprise, Ike Turner. He wasn't just her partner. He was her prison. He discovered her. Then he tried to destroy her. Their act began with soul, fire, and harmony. On stage, they were electric. Off stage, it was torment. Ike controlled everything, her wardrobe, her voice, her schedule, and even her bank account. But control wasn't the worst of it. He used love like a leash. Music like a weapon. What the audience saw was showbiz magic. What Tina endured were bruises, broken bones, and psychological warfare. He told her no one else would want her. And for a while, she believed him. But in 1976, she proved him wrong. One night, bloodied and barefoot, she fled with just 36 cents and a gas station credit card. From sleeping in motels to eating out of vending machines, she rebuilt herself, note by note, stage by stage. When she finally spoke, it wasn't for pity, it was for power. She refused to even say his name for years. But when she did, it was a blade of truth. Ike Turner wasn't a villain in her story. He was the cage she escaped. Second on the list, David Bowie. A man she once admired. Their meeting was supposed to be legendary. 2 icons, 1 stage. Instead, it was a disaster in disguise. It happened at a party in the early 80s. Bowie was buzzing, high, loud, and loose. Surrounded by a laughing crowd, he started cracking jokes about the industry. And then about her. About Ike. He called her trauma, character building. The room went still. Tina smiled, but not the kind that reached the eyes. It was the kind that masks a scream. Bowie claimed he meant no harm. That it was just a joke. But for Tina, there was no humor in her hell. She never worked with him again. Not when producers begged. Not when fans pleaded. Because scars, hers, weren't punchlines, they were sacred. Third was the queen of soul herself, Aretha Franklin. What began as admiration soon turned to icy rivalry. In the late 60s and early 70s, as Tina's star ascended, Aretha saw her as competition. Industry insiders remember. Tension was thick. Same award shows. Same backstages. But no words.
Aretha allegedly told a producer, "She screams. I sing." That single line created a chasm between them.
Tina never responded publicly. Her response was the stage. Her rebuttal? Every standing ovation. Their paths rarely crossed after that. But when they did, no smiles. No nods. Just cold silence wrapped in diamonds and sequins. When Aretha was offered a duet in 1983, Tina declined without hesitation. She didn't do fake. And when her worth was questioned, she didn't fight in the press, she outlasted.
Next up, Madonna. By the mid-80s, Madonna was dominating pop culture. Leather, lace, controversy. Critics said she was channeling Tina.
Tina didn't mind being an influence. What she hated was the disrespect. In interviews, Madonna dismissed older artists as out of touch. Tina, then in her 40s and topping charts, took it personally. She had fought through trauma, reinvented herself, and reshaped what a woman in rock could be. To be labeled irrelevant, that wasn't shade, that was erasure. When they attended the same gala in 1992, not a single word was exchanged. No eye contact. Just cold, cutting silence. Because to Tina, respect was never optional. She let Private Dancer, her comeback album, speak for her. Its success was thunder. And Madonna, she stayed outside the storm. Fifth was producer Phil Spector. The so-called wall of sound kingmaker once called Tina the only female voice powerful enough for rock. He promised studio time, creative freedom. It was supposed to be monumental. Tina believed him. She rehearsed for weeks, trained her voice like a blade. Then, silence. No phone call. No explanation. He chose Ronnie Spector instead. Tina found out through the grapevine. The humiliation cut deep, not just personally, but professionally. In an industry full of noise, that silence became the cruelest sound of all. She never publicly addressed him again. When asked, she responded with the sharpest dagger in her arsenal: silence. And finally, Elton John. On paper, a dream duo. In reality, thunder and lightning. Their clash happened in the late 80s. Rehearsals for a TV special went south fast. Tina was precise, demanding. Elton was flamboyant but unprepared. When she called him out, he snapped, called her impossible. What followed was hours of shouting, slammed doors, a broken mic stand. On stage, they smiled, but their eyes never met. Elton later described the tension as volcanic. Tina never responded, but close sources said she found him talented but tiresome, brilliant but brittle. To her, it wasn't ego, it was protection, and when a collaboration brought more fire than harmony, she walked away. Tina Turner wasn't just a legend, she was a storm in stilettos. She didn't start fights, but she finished them. Quietly, ruthlessly, without apology. These 6 names don't appear in her liner notes, but they shaped the walls she built, the fire she carried, and the silence she mastered. Tina didn't look back at the flames. She walked through them, and never got burned again. This has been another deep dive into the untold side of rock history. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Rock Fame Diaries. Until next time, keep the music loud and the legends alive. God bless.